Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March 30th. It is the best day of the year. It is opening day. We're going over the matchups. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. Welcome to the middle of the order. Today is opening day. Baseball is back, and I'm extremely excited for it. It's the first time in MLB history that all 30 teams will play today, and it's going to be a great day for baseball. A great day, finally, to have baseball back. I'm extremely excited. It's one of my favorite days of the year. On today's episode, we're just going to be going over all of the starting pitching matchups and taking a look at all 30 pitchers set to pitch today. I'm really excited. So let's, without, I don't want to waste any time today. I want to hit it hard. I gotta finish this so I can watch baseball today. I'm excited for it. So let's start with the first matchup on the docket. The Braves and the Nationals. The 105, one of the first games to get underway today. And that matchup faces Max Fried for your Atlanta Braves versus Patrick Corbin for your Washington Nationals. Both will be making their third opening day start in their careers. Max Fried will be making his third straight start with the Braves. Patrick Corbin, on the other hand, he's making his second straight start with the Nationals. His other opening day start came in 2018 with the D-backs. Obviously, Patrick Corbin has had some struggling years these last couple of years. So, Brave fans should be in line for a win. If you're a betting man, I would take the Braves line there. Max Fried, Corbin, both lefties. It's just going to be, the first match of the day. Max Fried been one of the more dominant pitchers over the last couple of years, so he should be set to start his season off with a well-pitched game. Of course, most starting pitchers kind of ease into the season. I doubt any of these pitchers go more than 7 innings today. But yeah, so that's how we start off the day, as well as the Giants and Yankees, who also have a 1:05 start time. The Giants will be sending out Logan Webb. It's his second career opening day start and his second straight. He did it last year as well. Garrett Cole, on the other hand, goes for the Yankees. It is his fifth opening day start, his fourth straight with the Yankees going back to 2020. And he had one other with the Pirates in 2017 before he got traded that season to the Astros. Giants, Yankees, a little interleague matchup for opening day. Really excited. Moving on down the list here, we head for Baltimore, who's heading to Boston to start their season. Kyle Gibson recently signed with Baltimore. He's going to make his second career start as an opening day starter. He made his other one in 2021 with the Rangers. Meanwhile, for Boston, they're sending out Corey Kluber, who they also signed this previous offseason. It is his sixth opening day start. He was with the Guardians, and he was their opening day starter from 2015 to 2019. He hasn't started opening day since 2019. Kluber really hasn't been himself since kind of 2017, 2018. He's bounced around with a couple teams, the Yankees, the Rays, the Rangers. Now he makes his way to Boston. So, with Sale kind of not 100% yet, he's their best bet. So that's who they'll be sending out for day one. Next up, it is the Brewers and the Cubs. Corbin Burns on the mound for the Brew Crew. It is his second all-time start and his second straight for the Brewers. Meanwhile, the Cubs are going to go with Marcus Stroman, who will be making his third all-time start on opening day. He did it twice with the Blue Jays, once in 2016 and once in 2019. This will be the first one for him as a Cub. And then the next game on the docket, will be Detroit and Tampa. Detroit will be using Eduardo Rodriguez. It is his second straight start and his second career opening day, both with the Tigers. And the Rays will be going with Shane McClanahan, who had himself a fantastic season last year. He'll look to start off on the right foot against the Detroit lineup. He started last year as well, so it is his second straight and his second all-time career start for opening day. Moving down the list now, Aaron Nola with the Phillies taking on Jacob deGrom and the Rangers. The Phillies thought they were done with deGrom. Nope, you're facing him day one. New team. deGrom is making his fourth career opening day start. He did it 3 years straight with the Mets in 2019, 2020, and 2021. And now with the Rangers for the first year, he will be their opening day starter. Meanwhile, Aaron Nola, it is his sixth straight opening day start. He has 6 all-time, all with the Phillies. He is the longest active streak of opening days consecutively. So Nola kind of leads that charge there. We'll look more into him in a little bit. Meanwhile, we have Alek Manoah and Miles Mikolas for the Toronto Blue Jays and for the St. Louis Cardinals. Alek Manoah, he's coming off a fantastic year. He finished top 3 in Cy Young voting. It is his first ever opening day notch, while Miles Mikolas will have his second opening day notch. He had the other one in 2019 with the Cardinals. Moving on down, Pirates and the Reds both sending out completely new starters that have never had an opening day. Hunter Green, coming off a really nice rookie season last year, he will make his first start as an opening day starter. And for the Pirates, they'll go with their kind of young prospecty pitcher. He had an okay year last year. Mitch Keller is on the bump for the Pittsburgh Pirates. After that, we are going with Colorado and Tampa Bay. Colorado will be using Herman Marquez for their start. Excuse me, did I say Tampa Bay? The San Diego Padres, Blake Snell. God, it's been a few years for that. Marquez with the Rockies will be making his third all-time start. He did it in 2020 and 2021 with the Rockies. He was not the opening day starter last year. Kyle Freeland was. And Blake Snell for your San Diego Padres, not your Tampa Bay Rays. It is his second all-time opening day start. He had his other one with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2019 after his Cy Young season. Padres versus Rockies is what I meant to say there. Pablo Lopez, acquired from the Marlins to the Twins. It is his first ever opening day notch, and he'll be doing it against one of the most veteran names on the list, Zach Greinke, with the Kansas City Royals. Twins versus Royals. Greinke will be making his 7th all-time opening day start. His first was with the Royals in 2010. Then, when he was with the Diamondbacks, he made 3 of them in 2016, 2017, and 2019. And then he did it 2021 with the Astros, and then last year, 2022, with the Royals, which makes this year his 3rd consecutive year as an opening day starter. Going down the list, it'll be the Miami Marlins versus the New York Mets. Sandy Alcantara, Cy Young winner. It was his 4th career opening day start and his 4th straight for the Marlins. And he'll be doing it against one of the game's greatest in Max Scherzer. It is his 7th all-time. He did it from 2015 to 2021 with the Nationals, excluding the year 2017 when Steven Strasburg was the opening day starter for them. And it's his first opening day start, not with the Nationals. Obviously, we know he was on the Dodgers for a little bit and the Mets last year, but this will be his first opening day start for a team that is not the Nationals. After that, going into the later games of the evening, Dylan Cease with the White Sox, he had himself a fantastic breakout season last year. He'll be making his first career start as an opening day starter, while Framber Valdez goes for Houston. It is his second all-time start and his second straight for the Astros. After that, it is the Angels and Oakland. The Angels, who else would it be besides Shohei Ohtani? It is his second straight opening day start and his second career-wise as well. Oakland will be sending out Kyle Mueller. It is his first ever opening day start. We'll talk about him a little bit more later on. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, they face off today. Zach Gallen, you think he would have made an opening day start by now, but no, it is his first ever opening day start with the D-backs. And Julio Urias gets the notch for the Dodgers. It is his first opening day start as well. So a couple of firsts there. And the 15th and final docket of the evening, I guess, will be Shane Bieber with the Cleveland Guardians going up against the Seattle Mariners and Luis Castillo. Shane Bieber, he has 4 opening day starts, all 4 of them with the Guardians, and there are 4 straight. Meanwhile, Luis Castillo is making his first opening day start with the Mariners, but his third career-wise. He had 2 with the Reds in 2019 and 2021. So those are your 15 opening day starters for today. Obviously, as mentioned, the longest streak goes to Aaron Nola. His going to be his 6th straight opening day for him and the Phillies. Meanwhile, looking at some of the ages of these pitchers, Hunter Green is the youngest by far. He is 23 years old. The next after that would be Alek Manoah, Shane McClanahan, and Kyle Mueller, who are all at the age of 25. And if you flip the scale, Zach Greinke is the oldest pitcher of the 30. He is 39 years old. And the 2 guys underneath him, Max Scherzer at 38 and Corey Kluber at 36. Interestingly enough, the 2 current Major League players with the most opening day starts, Justin Verlander with 12 and Clayton Kershaw with 9, both will not be pitching today. Verlander obviously coming off a Cy Young season. He signed with the Mets, but the Mets opted with going with Max Scherzer over him. And Clayton Kershaw, obviously one of the best pitchers from the previous decade. He's getting up there a little bit with age. Julio Urias had a fantastic season, so the Dodgers decided to go with Urias. Of these 30 beautiful starting pitchers going today, 8 of them have Cy Young winners. Corbin Burns won it in 2021 in the NL. Corey Kluber is a 2-time Cy Young winner, 2014 and 2017, both with the Guardians. Jacob deGrom, obviously we talked about him a little bit. He was a 2-time Cy Young winner in 2018, 2019, back-to-back. Blake Snell with the Padres. He won his Cy Young 2018 with the Rays. Zach Greinke, he has a Cy Young in 2009 in his early stages of his career with the Royals. Max Scherzer, who has the most Cy Youngs, he has 3 in 2013, 2016, and 2017, all with the Nationals. Sandy Alcantara last year, 2022, with the Mariners. And Shane Bieber during COVID year, 2020. Those are the 8 Cy Young who have won Cy Youngs, who are set to start today. And looking at those new names we have 8 new guys who are making their first opening day starts. We talked about them a little bit. Mitch Keller, Hunter Green, they face off. Zach Gallen, Julio Urias, they face off. And then you have Jorge Lopez, Alek Manoah, Dylan Cease, and Kyle Mueller. Kyle Mueller is an interesting case, actually. He has not a lot of time in the majors. Oakland acquired him during this offseason with the Sean Murphy trade. Kyle Mueller has pitched in 12 games, supporting a 3-5 record. He is a 5.14 ERA in 49 innings with 49 Ks. So a very young, very not really brought into the game well. Doesn't have a lot of service time in the majors, but Oakland, with their lack of talent and players, decide to go him to face Ohtani. If you're a betting man, take the Angels. Ohtani's going to shove. Very simple. Continuing on here, we have 8 of these starters with 4 or more career opening day starts. We talked about them. Aaron Nola, we talked about how he has 6. Max Scherzer, Zach Greinke, Shane Bieber, Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, Sandy Alcantara, and Corey Kluber. Now, obviously, Corey Kluber, we talked about how he really hasn't been himself in the last few years, hasn't been an opening day starter since 2019. So I'm just going to exclude him from this little conversation here, and we're just going to go over the other 7 and how they do on opening day starts. And we'll start by going with Aaron Nola, who is the current streak holder. So in his 5 games as an opening day starter, he's pitched 29 1/3 innings with a 2-1 record. He's allowed 15 earned runs, and 3 of those games he allowed 4 runs each. He supports a 4.64 ERA. He's allowed 4 home runs, 7 walks, and has struck out 31 batters. So Nola typically hasn't pitched too well on opening day starts, and going against Jacob deGrom and the newly kind of getting put together Rangers, it'll be interesting to see how he performs. He's usually kind of one of those pitchers who starts the season really slow and then he gets really hot. He's been one of the game's best pitchers in recent years, so we'll have to see how he pitches today. Meanwhile, on the other end of that docket, Jacob deGrom, this is his 4th opening day, which means he's had 3 games as an opening day starter with those Mets, where he pitched 17 innings. He's 1-0 in those games with 2 non-decisions. He has yet to allow a run in those 17 innings. He's allowed 9 hits, struck out 25 batters, and walked 4. He's definitely the best pitcher of the 30 in my mind. I think Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in the game when healthy. And even though it's a smaller sample size than Nola's, it is much better. I expect Jacob deGrom to come out with his new team and just put up 6 innings kind of effortlessly. I believe Jacob deGrom is going to carry the Rangers to a win today. Yeah, he's just really good. There's no kind of way to put it about it. Jacob deGrom is one of the game's best. So, I mean, if you can watch his game today, I think it's going to be a lot of strikeouts against those Phillies hitters. But moving on down, Max Scherzer and Zach Greinke, we talked about how they have the most opening day starts, each with 7. Or this is going to be their 7th today. Max Scherzer, in his 6 games as an opening day starter with the Nationals, he has pitched 39 2/3 innings with a 1-3 record. He's allowed 12 earned runs. 2 of those games, he allowed 4 each. He's a 2.76 ERA and 57 Ks. He's allowed 8 home runs in his most recent opening day start in 2021 with the Nationals. He allowed 4 home runs to the Braves, 2 to Acuna, 1 to Freeman, 1 to Swanson. So Max Scherzer, he's kind of middle of the pack tier. Not as bad as Nola, but definitely not as good as DeGrom. He gives up the long ball, but he strikes out a lot of hitters. We said it here, 57 strikeouts in nearly 40 innings in opening day starts. So expect him to come after those Miami hitters. We know they aren't the greatest offense in the league, so Max Scherzer should be set to deal his way. We have to remember also in 2020, actually, Max Scherzer faced Garrett Cole, who we'll talk about next. And that game, they only played 6 innings because of the rain delay. They decided to concede the game and give the Yankees the win, which is why Max Scherzer has that extra loss. Meanwhile, Garrett Cole, this is his 5th start. So 4 games, 19 innings and a third. He has a 1-1 record, 11 earned runs, 5 of which came from his first opening day start with the Pirates. He has a 5.18 ERA, has allowed 4 home runs, one each per game. He struck out 18 and 5 walks, so really not the Garrett Cole that you know and love. He definitely struggles in opening day starts. So against the Giants, they are home, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants can squeak one out. If there's one thing to note, I would put some money on the Giants. One of the players is going to hit a home run. It's just what Cole does. Cole loves to give up the long ball. It's very rare he goes a start without giving up at least 1 home run. So keep that in mind. Moving on down, Sandy Alcantara. He has 3 opening day starts where he's pitched 17 and 2/3 innings, supporting that 1-0 record. He's allowed 3 runs, so essentially 1 each. He has a 1.57 ERA, he has allowed 2 home runs. He struck out 18 batters and 7 walks. Sandy, very good pitcher. He's coming off a Cy Young season. I'm expecting him to have a really good year again. But facing Max Scherzer, the way Scherzer pitches, you look at the Mets lineup versus Miami's lineup, Sandy's going to have to put on a top-tier performance if Miami wants to try to squeeze the game 1 by them today. Shane Bieber, we talked about. He has 3 games under his belt already, in which he has 16 and 2/3 innings, supporting that 1-1 record. He's allowed 3 earned runs, so he has an ERA of 1.67. He struck out 30 batters, 14 in the first game, 12 in the second, and then 4th in his most recent opening day start. He's allowed 1 home run and has walked 4 batters. So Bieber, kind of like Sandy, kind of like DeGrom, has done really well in opening day starts. He's facing Luis Castillo and the Mariners. I think the Guardians can squeak that one out. I think Shane Bieber is going to have a good start, maybe go 5 innings, strike out about 7 or 8 batters. A lot of those Mariners, they like to hit home runs. They're big swing and miss guys. So I'm expecting Bieber to pick up those Ks. And the last pitcher that I said we would go over really quickly, Zach Greinke. He has 6 opening day starts kind of all over the place over his career. He's pitched 30 and a third innings with a 1-2 record. He's allowed 18 earned runs, supporting 5.38 earned run average, ERA. 2 of those starts, he's allowed 7 runs. He has struck out 18 batters, walked 7, and given up 8 home runs. So Zach Greinke, even though he has kind of more tenure than a lot of these guys, he is definitely the worst opening day starting pitcher out of the 7 that we just talked about. Gives up a lot of runs. It's tough. He's been around the game for a long time, and he's going against the Twins. They got Joey Gallo now. So, if you're a Royals fan, just hope he does well. He's kind winding down his career, and there. So yeah, definitely out of those seven, DeGrom, Sandy, Bieber, lock them in. They're gonna have some good starts. Scherzer, Nola, maybe you get a good game, maybe you get a bad game. Greinke and Cole, be cautious about them. Giants fans, go get Cole. Go take out the Yankees. Um, I think the Twins have a good chance of winning with Zach Greinke on the mound. He just has not done it any game really. He has that one win, but two starts with 7 earned runs. It's just not that great. Between Sandy and Scherzer, I think Sandy has the edge pitching wise. I think Sandy, he's a young pitcher, really dominant. Scherzer, he could still do it, but he's getting up there in age. I think the Mets lineup is better, but I think Sandy's more equipped to handle it. DeGrom and Nola, definitely going to be a fun matchup as well. Phillies, Rangers. I believe that's a 4 o'clock game. But yeah, so those are your opening day kind of stats and statistics and matchups. But yeah, I'm most excited for a couple of the starts here. Obviously, Mets and Marlins, Max Scherzer, Sandy Alcantara. I think that's going to be a great game. I think Hunter Green and Mitch Keller, kind of both the young stars for those teams, those rebuilding teams. I think it'll be fun to see kind of what they have in their tank. Hunter Green is an electric pitcher. He's got a heater for a fastball, hits 100s kind of consistently. Mitch Keller, more control, kind of more mellow. But the game I'm kind of most excited for to watch is Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. If you missed the episode last week, my predictions, I'm quite high on the Diamondbacks this year. I like their young talent. I might be a little bit early on them, but Alec Thomas, that's what I meant to say. Alec Thomas, Corbin Carroll, who I think will win Rookie of the Year. Zach Gallen, I think you could put him in the conversation for Cy Young. I just think he is going to have a really tough game against the Dodgers. Obviously, Dodgers hitters are notorious for being problematic. And Julio Urias was really good last year too. So if Zach Allen can outduel him and pick up that first win for the Diamondbacks of the season, beat the Dodgers, I think it's a good start for the Diamondbacks that they kind of need to have, kind of for my predictions. Not that losing day one is the end of your season. Obviously, that's the beautiful thing about opening day. No matter what people have your team predicted as, whether if you're supposed to win the division or if you're supposed to be the worst team, after today, you can be 1-0 or you could be 0-1, and it's a great day. Anyone could be above 500. It's what opening day is about. It's really exciting, really special. I'm sure a lot of these guys who are making their first career starts as an opening day starter are going to bask it all in. I think Zach Gallen, this is first of many. Julio Urias, I think he'll have a couple. Hunter Green, Keller, same thing. Alek Manoah, I think, is going to be kind of the Blue Jays ace for the next 2-3 years. So I'm sure he's got a couple more opening day starts in his tank. But yeah, so the matchups for the first series of the year, we have obviously the Giants and Yankees interleague game, the Braves and the Nationals, Baltimore and Boston, Milwaukee and Chicago Cubs, the Tigers and the Rays, the Phillies and the Rangers, the Pirates and the Reds, Twins and the Royals, Mets and Marlins, White Sox and Astros, Rockies and Padres, Angels, Athletics, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and the Guardians and the Mariners is how the season gets underway. Remember, with the new scheduling system this year, everyone plays everyone. Your favorite team will play every single team at least once, some point in the season. I love it. I think it's what it needs. It's hard when you have divisions that are really top heavy and really strong contending, like the AL East and the NL East. You face those teams a lot. You're gonna have a lot of butting heads and a lot of mixed kind of numbers there. While you have a team like the NL Centrals, who besides the Cardinals, those teams aren't really the best, and the Cardinals get a bloated record that they obviously deserve because they're a good team. But what would their record be when they're playing the Yankees more and the Blue Jays more and the Astros more? So I love the new scheduling system. I think it's great for the game. I'm really excited to see how it plays into the season with traveling and everything for the players. But yeah, those are the first series of the season. Taking a look next week as well. Not next week, but the next series starting on Monday. The Mets will face the Brewers, Giants and the White Sox, Cubs and Reds, Twins and Marlins, Blue Jays and Royals, Rays Nationals, Phillies Yankees, Pirates Red Sox, Braves Cardinals, Baltimore and Texas, Detroit and Houston, Cleveland and Oakland, Arizona and Padres, Angels and Seattle, and the Rockies and the Dodgers. God, it's exciting. Baseball's back. D-backs get done to kind of the NL West wildfires with the Dodgers and Padres first. Honestly, looking at the little schedule there for the first week here, I think the Angels have a good chance to get off to a hot start, obviously with Ohtani facing Oakland. If you're an Angels fan, you kind of really want to sweep this first series. And then you have Seattle, who gave you guys a lot of problems last year. Bounce back against them early on this year. I think the Angels can get off to a really hot start, maybe be one of the teams that end up 6-0, 7-0 to start the season. I think no matter which team you are at the end of this first series, the last thing you want to do is get swept. It is a pretty deflating way to start your season by losing your first 3 or 4 games of the season. You want to get that first one out early, and that's what makes opening day great. You get a chance to set your team off on the right foot. It's only game 1 of 162. We've got 6 months of baseball, and it starts today. I'm excited for it. But now let's go over a couple batters I think will have an edge here opening day, starting off with Tampa Bay Rays, Brandon Lowe. Obviously, the Rays are facing the Tigers. Eduardo Rodriguez is someone Brandon Lowe is somewhat familiar with. He has 13 at-bats against him with a .308 batting average and 3 home runs. So I think Brandon Lowe will have a nice start to the season. Jake Cronenworth with the Padres. They're facing Herman Marquez and the Rockies, and Cronenworth has seen Marquez a lot, obviously, since they're in the same division. He has 2 home runs off of him, and in 17 at-bats has a .353 batting average. So I think Cronenworth will be able to pick up a couple hits against Marquez. He'll probably bat somewhere near the middle of the lineup. And the last hitter I'll give some notice to is Jose Ramirez with the Guardians. They're facing Seattle and Luis Castillo. Jose Ramirez has 3 home runs off of Castillo, and in 18 at-bats has a .278 batting average. So I think those 3 hitters might have some successful opening day starts today. On the hitters field, I'm expecting a good amount of home runs, and that's not to discredit these pitchers, but I just think we're in for a nice treat for opening day, the first ever time all 15 games happen day 1. I'm expecting about 20 plus home runs to be hit in total. Probably Judge gets a hold of one at some point off of Webb. You know, Vlad probably takes Miles Mikolas deep. It's just some exciting stuff. I'm sure everyone's kind of the ones who are making their first starts are a little jittery, a little nervous. Um, Heading onto the field today. I just think it's going to be great overall television to watch your favorite team. Baseball is back. Like I'm just really excited. Like I have no words, and my head is just wrapped with like these games and getting excited to just sit down, have my computer up with one game, my iPad with another, my phone with one, put one on the TV, all the notifications on. Like I'm ready. Twitter's gonna be going off. Like it's really just an exciting day. Opening days meant a lot for my family. There's a lot of great memories I have watching opening day starts, opening day games. Like the first game of the season is always the most exciting. You're picking which players you think are going to hit home runs and everything. So, I mean, it's a really special day for a lot of people. Um, and I mean, if you're listening to this, it's probably special for you, as it is me, as it is for most baseball fans. Well, not most baseball fans, all baseball fans. It's opening day. It's day one. It's the best. But yeah, obviously I did, mention Brandon Lowe, Cronenworth, and Ramirez. But I also want to just give off a couple players I think. Well, I think I'm gonna pick a player from each game, just one player from each game, who I think will hit a home run, and then next week we'll check in and see which players actually ended up doing that. Let's see if I can get at least five out of the 15. So let's start with the Braves and the Nationals. And if you think I'm taking a National here, you are dead wrong. The question is, which Brave do I think will take Patrick Corbin deep? I think this guy, he's young, he's thick. I think Austin Riley is going to be the person who hits the home run for the Braves. Lock it in, Austin Riley. He goes yard. Moving down the list, Giants and Yankees. Judge is like the obvious choice. So there's no fun in picking Judge. But I said a Giant was going to hit a home run, so I'm going to pick a Giant. Brandon Crawford's obviously the longest tenured there. Mitch Haniger's a new guy. But you know who I love more? Mike Yastrzemski. I think Mike Yastrzemski takes Garrett Cole over the short porch there in right field in Yankee Stadium. Lock it in. Mike Yastrzemski goes yard today. Boston and Baltimore. Both these pitchers they don't excite me much. I'm not expecting fantastic starts from these two. Hey, Gibby, Kluber, prove me wrong, but I am going to take Adley Rutschman. I think it's just a fun kind of, hey, Baltimore, you want to have a fun season? This is your young guy. Have him hit a home run in the first game. Gunnar Henderson is also a great pick there, but I'm going to go with Adley and for an opening day home run against Kluber in Fenway. Corbin Burns and Marcus Stroman, the Brewers and the Cubs. Dansby Swanson, he's new there. Gotta start the season off strong. He's gonna hit a home run for the home fans there. They just signed him on a big year this past free agency. So I think Dansby Swanson is gonna thrill the fans, kind of show him what he can do for their team, and I think he's gonna beat Burns. Probably on a fastball inside. He's going to turn on it, send it to left field. So Dansby Swanson's my pick there. Going down for the Rays and the Tigers. I mentioned it. I think Brandon Lowe is going to have a good game. So I will pick Brandon Lowe. I think he will take Eduardo Rodriguez deep at some point in the game. Probably not his first at bat. But Brandon Lowe, he's coming off a season where he was injured every now and then. He never really could get hot. could get streaky and consistent playing time. I think this year is going to be a good bounce back for him. I think he's a top five second baseman in the league, top 10 for sure. But I definitely think he's going to hit a home run opening day today. Phillies and Rangers. This one's going to be tough because obviously there's no Harper and there's no Hoskins for the Phillies. I did say Trey Turner's been hot facing off against DeGrom. They face each other so often. I think Turner's a fun choice there. Obviously, Seager, Simeon, and Nathaniel Lowe are some good options if you want to go with a Ranger. But I think Trey Turner, the way he's been hitting the home run in spring, the way he hit all those home runs in the World Baseball Classic, Trey Turner is hot right now, and you'd be a fool to bet against him. So I'm going to go with Trey Turner taking Jacob deGrom deep today. Pirates and Reds, Keller and Green. A fun one. Hunter Green, with that kind of heat that he gives up, all you need to do is kind of just poke your bat up front with it. And speaking of electric young players, the Pirates have a few on their hands, and no one is more electric than O'Neal Cruz. I think O'Neal Cruz is just going to turn on a fastball and obliterate a ball in Cincinnati. The Balls love to travel there. I'm locking in O'Neal Cruz opening day home run. Rockies and Padres, Herman Marquez and Blake Snell. No Tatis yet. You got to wait 20 games for him. We talked about Cronenworth a little bit, kind of how I feel like he's going to do. Obviously, Chris Bryant needs to have kind of a bounce back year after his first year with the Rockies didn't go so well. But I will take Cronenworth. I mentioned he's got 2 home runs off of Marquez. Give me Jake Cronenworth. I think he's a top 5 second baseman for sure. I wonder what the Padres are going to do with him. Maybe he'll be playing some first base this season. But I like Cronenworth here. I will be taking Cronenworth. Twins and Royals, Pablo Lopez and Zach Greinke. We talked about Zach Greinke's kind of bad luck, I guess, with opening day starts. So I definitely want to take a twin here. Obviously, they just got out Joey Gallo. I think that's fun. No more shift. I think Joey Gallo just pops one off of Greinke, probably like 460 feet into right field there in Kauffman. So I'll take Joey Gallo. Going next, Blue Jays and the Cardinals playing at Busch Stadium. Alek Manoah, Miles Mikolas, Vlad's there. You could go with Bo. You can go with Springer. Flip the script. You can go with Goldschmidt. You can go with Arenado. You can go with Nootbaar. These are 2 teams with stars all over the place. But I'm going to go a little sneaky under the radar and go with the Blue Jays' new left fielder and Dalton Varsho. I think he just kind of like how I mentioned, kind of with Swanson, kind of wanting to show his fans, his new fans, what he can bring to the table. I think Dalton Varsho is going to hit one for those Blue Jays fans so they can kind of see what they had to give up in Teoscar and Lourdes. Obviously not Teoscar in that trade, but it's going to be a new year for those Blue Jays fans. And I think Dalton Varsho takes Mikolas deep. Alcantara and Scherzer, Mets and Marlins. This one's kind of tricky because both these pitchers are really good. And I definitely think that Scherzer is more likely to give up a home run, but the Marlins don't really have home run hitters. This one's kind of tough because I like those Mets, man. Lindor is there, Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso. But that Miami lineup, who would take Scherzer deep? Luis Arias? Now he's more contact, even though he can drive a ball deep. I don't think Arias is going to be showing the Marlins fans any power anytime soon. I think Jorge Soler is definitely their most powerful hitter. I'm going to go with Lindor. I think Lindor, he's gonna have to take Alcantara deep. I think the Mets are gonna have to put on a performance if they want to try to win against Alcantara. So give me Mr. Smile, Frankie Lindor himself. White Sox, Astros, Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez. Kyle Tucker is a great option because I love Kyle Tucker. Obviously, Yordan Alvarez is definitely the more obvious choice. White Sox, Tim Anderson's there, but I like Kyle Tucker a lot. I think Kyle Tucker does it. I'm taking Kyle Tucker there, lock him in there. Ohtani and Mueller, Angels and Oakland. Call it predictable, but I think Ohtani goes deep. I think Ohtani's gonna pitch 6 innings at least, hit a home run. He's gonna have a good opening day. I think Ohtani is gonna do it all tomorrow. He's gonna be the talk of opening day like he usually is. He is a unicorn. He is a freak. Give me Shohei for that game. Diamondbacks and Dodgers, Gallen and Urias. I talked about the Diamondbacks needing to get that win. I talked about Corbin Carroll winning NL Rookie of the Year. Give me Corbin Carroll. Come out, guns a-blazing, hit a home run, lefty off of Urias. That one's going to be pretty tricky, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today. Go get him, Corbin. I'm taking Carroll there to lock him in there. And that brings us to the last one. Shane Bieber, Luis Castillo, Cleveland, Seattle, Jose Ramirez, Jared Kelenic, Cal Raleigh, Josh Bell. A lot of options, really. Eugenio Suarez, another good option there. I kind of like the Josh Bell story, Pirates kind of legend. Has a struggle year, ends up with the Nats, gets traded to the Padres, doesn't do so well. Josh Bell has a lot of upside. I think he's going to be really well with Cleveland. But obviously Jose Ramirez is the leader there, is the captain. He is the star. Give me J-Ram to hit a home run off of Castillo, probably in like the 3rd inning. Cleveland's gonna put the ball in play a lot. Steven Kwan, Andres Jimenez there. But I will take Jose Ramirez. Lock it in. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait for these baseball games today. That is going to wrap up today's episode. Next week, we will check in on the first week of baseball. We'll check in on those 15 players, see which one of them's hit home runs opening day. I'm excited. I want to go watch baseball. I have to wait a few hours here. If you guys enjoyed the episode today, make sure you give this a like if you're on YouTube. However you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, however you like to listen to me here. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the feedback you guys I've been receiving. Please keep that coming. Twitter, Instagram, mid_of the order. It means a lot to me. But that will do it for today. Opening day, get ready. Baseball is here. It is back. Let's have a great season. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next week.